Welcome to the Chili Mountain Fall Cup, everybody! Yep, we are in North America. And we got Tomb of Spider Queen as our first map in round number 1 of the tournament. So yeah, it will be a wild one. So we have NA players playing here, we have European players here. All of these matches are played out on the North American server. There's $500 on the line. It's a one-day tournament, and we are starting things off with the best of 3. In total, we have 16 teams in the tournament right now, and it should be an exciting one. Now, there's obviously quite a few players that will play with a ping disadvantage, but as you can see, a lot of the teams are mixed. On the side of Storm Esports, for example, we have Rutsu and Lauber, so at least 2 players of the European side, whereas BBJ, Iptings, and CPX are all 3 of them NA players. So we could see some wild games. We could see some absolutely wild games here, but I want to point out from the beginning that there are different team compositions here than in Europe. So when you're looking towards Lauber, when you're looking towards Rutsu, some will immediately, when we're going through the tournament, say like, hey, where are the Donuts? Where's Team Wah? Where are the Hardos? And all of these teams don't exist in that form on the NA server. So again, depending on which region we're talking about, yes, some of the European players might play, but not in the same team constellations that they have on their home server. So that's pretty much the one thing that you have to keep in mind while we're starting this tournament up. Now, meta is obviously going to be a little bit different. There's a huge North American influence here with the drafting that's going on. In this case, BBJ is the team captain for Storm Esports. PsiStorm Gaming with a Chaos Pigeon. Great name, by the way. Absolutely great name. Now, I personally think that pigeons are just air rats. So flying rats and nothing else. But Chaos Pigeon, that's a nickname that is just absolutely spectacular, and I absolutely love it. What was it? Never play chess with a pigeon. It's just going to strut over the board, shit on it, and then walk away like it won the game, something like that. I don't get the... I don't remember it 100%, but something along those lines. And when I see Chaos Pigeon, that's the only picture that I have in my head. A pigeon that just shits on a chessboard and walks away. And there's Chaos already introduced as Lily comes in as the first pick. Why do we need Meta Madness? All we need to do is cast some NA games. The Lily first pick for Storm Esports and Lauber with Muradin. The dwarf is in the house. And that is the most terrifying combination that we could possibly have in Heroes of the Storm game. Because if Muradin has now the Candy Muradin skin, or how I like to call it, the Pedo Muradin skin, then this is just wrong. Muradin running around as the Candy King, going over to Lily and being like, you want to have some candy, girl? That's just wrong on so many levels, I don't really know what to say here. So yeah, that already concerns me. That's like so many things wrong on the draft of the Red Blue team. But yeah, we got a Kalthus in play, so Tomb of the Spider Queen. Of course, you get a lot of globes together when you're rotating between the lanes here. Viera is likely going to play our Blood Mage. And yeah, let's go. Tigers gets banned. Stitches also banned out. The ban on Junko doesn't surprise anybody either. And we have a big focus on the support bans with Stukov and Uther. But who knew that they wanted to go into Lily instead? And as a first pick of all things. So Tracer gets banned out. And yeah, I'm highly interested to see what the blue team is piecing together now. CPX, Iptings, and Rutsu are still waiting for their pick. But after I've seen the Lily opening, I just want to see the rest of it. So, yeah. I like Lily first pick. I mean, someone is looking for adventure. And they're likely going to get it. Ragnaros and Mephisto. I mean, of course, what else? So, we got Muradin with the Stormbolt and Ragnaros immediately behind it with the Sulfurus, I hope. There's always a chance that we're going to run in a lava wave here at some point. The upside of picking Lily is you can go for the double dragon, but I would expect that we're going to get the jugs instead. The red team has to, of course, counteract this, and we get Kira and Alarak in our first game. I've been telling you, meta is going to be very different here. If this is a preview of the team compositions that we're going to see today, then it is going to be an exciting one to say the least. So let's have a little bit of a look at that last pick. How is Rutsu going to react here? They could run Ragnaros as a side laner. They could also draft another melee and create a bit of a front line here for the team. But yeah. Time for Rutsu to get his pick in, and it is Deathwing. Haven't seen him in a while, I gotta say. Deathwing is in, everybody. So let's go. Muradin, Ragnaros, Deathwing, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 1 in the first round of the tournament. The best of 3 series at hand between Storm Esports and PsiStorm Gaming. Let's go! Storm Esports against PsiStorm Gaming. On the left side, we got BBJ on Lili. Iptings is playing Ragnaros. We got CPX on Mephisto. Rutsu on Deathwing. And Lauba on Muradin in the first game of this best of 3 series. On the right side of the map, Cortezl on Kira. We got the Chaos Pigeon on Johanna going straight into the Laws of Hopes, trying to get those globes together. Crispy on Alarak. I like that. He could have played Kel'Thas too. That would have actually been really nice. The Fire Mage then is played by Vieira. And we got Obelisk on Malfurion. Okay, time to shine. Let's go. Let's see what they got. I'm definitely excited for this. And Lili is keeping us in suspense here. Muradin, yes indeed, it's the Candy King. The Candy King. You want to have some candy? And then instead of candy, like Lauba. Stop spreading the bombs. You learned that in your first years of the Storm game. And he's literally chasing Lili down, trying to spread the love a little bit. And BBJ is just sitting there like, dude, I was looking for adventure, not for a living bomb. Like, what is happening here? Kira on level 1, going into the maximum effort. And Muradin is already getting zipped around a bit by Alarak. Careful here. Lauba, is he pulling a Lauba? No, he jumps out. Nobody has died yet, so he still has some opportunity to pull that off. Down at the bottom of the map, we got our side laners, Kira going up against Ragnaros. Die, insect. And, well, top side, here's the rotation. There's obviously quite a few heroes that are looking for the globes. And Crispy might be, okay, looking for an escape route. And Lili wants to kill and doesn't quite get it. But that was still a close call. Alarak nearly dropped in this encounter. With a few stacks coming together for Kel'Thas. Careful here. Now when we're talking about power levels, the favorite in the series is definitely Storm Esports. But let's see what PsiStorm Gaming can pull off here. Against the Lili setup on the other side. There's a lot of CC coming through, by the way. Rutsu with Deathwing definitely putting a number on them and controlling the choke point at the gate quite nicely. Down to the bottom of the map, Cortezl against Ragnaros doing his thing, and up towards the top. Deathwing again in a good position, getting those stuns out. Muradin is following up on it, and look at Malfurion, he's completely lost. The old man is completely lost on the map and gets murdered as well. Yeah, he's just a little bit too old, you know. At that age, it's okay to be a bit senile, and a lot of the old folks. I mean, see you later, Boomer. He just gets lost on the map. That man needs Google Maps. Anyways, he's not the only one that dies. Nope. Johanna also gets dropped, so that's 2 kills to 0 in favor of the blue team. Storm Esports taking the lead here as we have a full Serpent build from Lili, plus the blast wave of Ragnaros. They're putting some pressure on Kira at the bottom of the map as a duo, and she is able to get out, but still is obviously not too happy about all of this. Damage setup on level 4 for Muradin, so not going into the healing static double clap with the synergy on the 4 and the 13 talent. Gravity Labs upgraded with another wind here. And Kira, your pain, my gain. I mean, so far, pain is only experienced by 1. And yeah, she seems to be looking for it. Still able to get all those gems together, but with 11 in her hands, she needs to be a bit careful, because with those hit points, she's not going to survive much longer. And therefore, a Hearthstone back to base, making sure that she's just topping off that hit point pool a bit. But the rotation in the middle and the top is still ongoing. 2 kills to 0, as already pointed out a little bit earlier. And, well, down to the bottom of the map, BBJ and Iptings. I mean, this looks a little bit like a Storm League draft, I'm not gonna lie here. Coming from the European scene, this is definitely a bit new. We cast a lot of the Korean tournaments that have been played out lately. We had a bit of a look into the Chinese meta, but when we're taking a closer one on North America, there is a lot that is a bit reminiscent of what's going on in Storm League. Nice kill against our girl, by the way. So Kira is down, and with all the gems that she's been holding, that's a huge blow to PsiStorm Gaming. I said it a bit earlier, she needs to be careful, and she definitely did not expect that 4-man rotation towards her, I suppose. Not a lot of globes, by the way, for especially Jojo. She's sitting at 5 globes on the level 1 now. We have level 7 already in the hands of the blue team, and they, of course, have the turn-in opportunity now. And at this point, Rutsu is completing it, and that is the blue web beavers descending. I mean, that is a pretty difficult one for PsiStorm Gaming to stop, because now we are already pretty far ahead. Looking at Storm Esports, they have 3 kills to 0. They have nearly a level lead over the opponent, and if they just get any damage done with that first objective and pull a bit further ahead in experience and an early level 10, should definitely be in the cards for them. And that's obviously then a potential double turn-in that he could get. Level 7 talents, Malfurion with the tenacious roots over here. Alright. So a bit of a different setup that we're seeing from him right now. Definitely diving deep into the talent box here. Also, the push in the middle is the one that they're focusing on. Web Beaver is still active at the top and the bottom, but the mid lane is where most of the action is right now. Skullcracker for Murden, and he is starting to rotate down to the bottom of the map to put the pressure on Kira, and they're actually pressuring her hard. Cortesla is in trouble and is trying to get away here. There's the jump, and whee! Kira zipping around a bit. Malfurion dying in the mid lane, and Kira at the bottom of the map is also getting hammered into the ground. The fort is gone, and with this we have a big lead now for Stormy Esports. Looking at level 10 abilities in just a few seconds, a potential second turn is definitely available. I mean, granted, they're 13 gems short, but they can pick those up very quickly if they want to. And as you can tell, they have done all that work at the bot lane. Siege Giants even taking some of the hit points away from the tower at the bottom. Muradin with a Haymaker. Yeah, look at Lauber. Playmaker moves by him. Also the Durance of Hate. And we get the dragon. There we go. Water Dragon is in the house. Sulfura Smash, the Durance of Hate. They're going for quite a little bit of CC here. And trying to create and control the space around them. Deathwing dropping down quite literally, and that puts Jana into a bit of a pickle for just a moment. Crispy comes in, but he needs to be careful because there could be... yeah, there's the Sulfuras. If that would have hit with him, he would have died for sure. Marutsu is trying to make that name more of a description, but is missing it a bit. And the same is also true for our boy Mephisto, who just dropped his ult. And Khaldor still dies. I like what we're seeing here. The Silver Surfer, on the other hand, that's actually pretty cool. So, a nice Skinnergy from PsiStorm Gaming. Haven't gotten a kill yet, and going up against level 10 abilities makes that mission not any easier, obviously. So, a second turn-in is now potentially available. And Kira goes down, is up at the top. We still have our 2 versus 2 battle. And they're trying to go for the kill against Crispy. Alarak with a counterplay attempt. And... oh, Mephisto nearly dying here to the fort. Level 10 available on both sides now. And that gives us the Pyroblast. Oh yeah, baby. That's the sound that you're going to hear a lot. Pyroblast, more of a meme than anything else, so let's see if he gets some value out of it. I mean, chances are there, don't get me wrong, but we're definitely going to call that. So, for now, seems like Kelthos is a big problem on his hands, and that is Vieira dying. Yes, he is down. No pyro for him, but the fight continues, and Lauber, he doesn't want to be the first one to fall on the blue team side. They killed 8 heroes, and they didn't lose a single one. So good for them thus far. But the fight continues, and with 2 forts down, it's just an all-out brawl from the perspective of Storm Esports. Yeah, they're going at it hard right now. There's the Haymaker, and Crispy is, yep, about to die. Crispy is down, and yep, it is an all-out slaughter at this point in time. Now, Kelthas, he is currently looking for an opportunity to maybe get the damage in. Are we gonna get the pyro? There it is! To be honest, I'll give him a cheer. That was a win. Good job. Pyro kill. Yes, you could argue that target would have died anyways, but still, the Pyroblast as the last hit here. And that's a big report on Mephisto immediately. I mean, the first and only one to die, that has to be highlighted. And here comes Ragnaros with a trade. Die Insect. Coming in, they're trying to go for the drop, and Vieira gets murdered. Yeah. So much for Kelthos bringing the fire, turning up the heat a little bit. Instead, it's Ragnaros who's going for an all-out battle. With the Web Weavers now coming down, top side, Storm Esports is doing very well, starting to take another structure down. They're also bullying the mid lane hard. The wall already gone. The level 13 talent advantage that they have is obviously also playing into their cards. And now we have 30,000 damage for Mephisto, or into their hands. The Chaos Pigeon is trying to escape the Chaos, and Alarak escaped it his own way. He died, and that is sacrificing the middle keep as well. 11 kills to 1 thus far. Mephisto, the only one that has fallen in this game. So CPX turned into free XP in this one. But for now, down at the bottom of the map, it seems like they're just going for keep number 2. Yeah. All the outer ring of defense is already gone. The first keep has been eliminated. The one at the bottom of the map is not going to make it either if this is continuing at pace. And the Web Weavers are still alive up at the top, so even more pressure. All 3 lanes are in trouble. Lauber also in a bit of a pickle. Tries to get out, but here comes Jojo. They want the Dwarf, and thanks to the Haymaker and the Stormbolt, it doesn't seem like they're going to get it. Depends a bit on Kira and her play. Lauber again, trying to escape, and he gets out. And Malfurion, he dies. Malfurion goes down. Seems like we could see Ragnaros fall too. And yes, indeed, there it is. Kill number 2 for PsiStorm Gaming. They lost the keep at the bottom of the map. And as you can see on the minimap, the top keep is about to fall as well. But they get a kill on Lily. So now finally a few kills on the board for PsiStorm Gaming. But it might be too little too late, especially since this keep is maybe not falling right now, but it's so low that it's only a matter of time. I mean, literally anybody could just move in and drop it. And knowing Ruzzo and Lauber, there's a good chance that one of the 2 of them is trying to oblige. So Lauber with a missed opportunity to go for the Haymaker here. Things are turning on him instead. We have 16 talents now on the board, so they still run a talent advantage. And with level 16, Lauber has finally the Dwarf launch. To the day, we don't know who tosses or launches the Dwarf. We all suspect that it might be Aragorn, who throws Gimli around a little bit in these fights. I had my own theory, honestly. But, yep, either way. Someone is launching that Dwarf. Dwarves are not really known for their jumping strength or anything like that. If anything, they can waddle away a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, someone is launching that Dwarf. We still don't know who exactly that is. But anyways, as it stands, we currently have 12 kills to 4. Boss is obviously up. The gem count, we got some in the hands of PsiStorm Gaming. So they got an opportunity maybe to turn in at some point. But they really, really need to go for a big team vibe if they want to have a chance to bring this game back. It's nearly impossible at this point in time. But with a bit of luck and a good coordination during the fight, they might be able to pull something off here. Now we're keeping our eye, of course, also on Khaldor. Some nice CC from him with the Gravity Lapse, and then maybe a follow-up on that Pyroblast. It might be key here. Yeah, Alarak with the combos. He's looking for them. He's sitting at 89 stacks on the stage, isn't for the baseline, so not really too much. Negatively charged is at 22. Damage isn't quite out there. They're hoping for level 16 talent, but so far that has been a distant dream. Mirrodin again with the zoning Stormbolt, jumping into the back, and there it is, the Playmaker. Nice. Oh, Pyro, and yeah, that did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. Or as we say in professional circles, that did jack shit. So yeah, Pyroblast with 0 damage at the end of the day. And no impact whatsoever. Lauber is just easily staying through it. Big Sulfuras on the other hand. And there goes Khaldor. Kira is down too. The Chaos Pigeon is in trouble. And the Pigeon is down. 3-level advantage at this point in time for Storm Esports in game number 1 of this best of 3 series in the first round of the tournament. The shield is down. The core is falling. 17 kills to 4. And they are just absolutely crushing at this point. The blue team, they are the favorites in the series, and they're just showcasing why here in game number 1 of the best of 3. The core falls as they lock in the W on Tomb of the Spider Queen. GG, and well played as we are heading into game number 2.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Map number 2, Sky Temple. Okay, first game, let's be honest, it was a little bit of a spanking. Now, Storm Esports is one of the favorites here, so in the early round, they are just proving once again that role and that they are the ones to beat in this particular series. PsiStorm Gaming came in as the underdog, and their first draft didn't really work out for them, but now we're heading into game number 2. It is a Sky Temple, and we have a first pick, first ban for Storm Esports. It means that the red team decided to go for Sky Temple, so maybe they have a draft prepared that they can use to take the blue team down and force map number 3. Now, we'll see how that works out for them. First ban, immediately the Vikings get murdered here. Now, with false set ban, that means that we still have a few globals around, and we have an Abathar first pick. Now, I do not mind that some of the picks that we see here are a bit out of the box. I question that is a backdoor strategy. That is a backdoor strategy right there. They are going to try and backdoor. At this point, if you have Morales and Tyrael to start the draft up, we all know where this is headed. We all know where this is headed. They want a backdoor, and they want a backdoor hard. I mean, these guys have a big pair of cojones on them. I'm going to tell you that much. I mean, starting with that into the draft and absolutely signaling what they're going to do here, that is wild. Now, that we get Valera and Abathur, that is also interesting, because the Abathur pick was done before we saw those two coming in. But now, if you're going into a Valera, that pretty much says to your opponent that they... I mean, so what is PsiStorm Gaming trying to do here? They're trying to go for backdoor strategy. You go for the Medivac, you put Morales in, you fly over to the keep, and Tyrael drops the Sanctification whenever the opponent comes in, and then you're trying to burst the keep away. That's why they banned Zeratul, because they want to avoid the Void Prison, which can slow all of that down. And normally when you see that, you're trying to pick this a little bit. Brightwing with an Emerald Wind can be really, really nice to push the opponent out. And Storm Esports just looked at this and said like, huh, you know what? We're gonna just fuck you up before you even hit level 10. So they pick Valera, they have Abathur, they're trying to just snipe heroes here, which can definitely work. And as long as PsiStorm Gaming falls behind before level 10 and can never really execute the strategy, all is fine. There are a couple of other heroes that would normally be picked with that strategy. Greymane is great because he does a ton of damage against structures. You can pick a Sylvanas. I mean, if you could, there's so many different heroes that you can play here. Reyna was banned because Hyperion is great in this case as well and can do a lot of structural damage too. But on the other side, I mean, you could play a couple of blinds, for example. Any kind of delay tactic really, really works well. So I'm curious, after they now went into Valera and Muradin, what else they want to pick here. Because this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting one. And we get a Medivh plus Sonya. So quick rotations here and also the opportunity to jump onto the opponent in the backline. Let's not forget about the ley line here as well. Ley line is huge, of course, if you hit a good one. Sonya will likely go for leap here, since this is the kind of play that they need to make. But yeah, this was very, very telegraphed what they're trying to do. And I absolutely love that they are attempting to make that happen. Here comes Gul'dan, and it's going to be the reign of RNG. They're going to go for rain, and they're going to try to take those structures down. They telegraphed from the beginning what they're trying to do. Storm Esports knew perfectly well after the first double pick for the red team what was happening here. And they decided to go for that setup that you see right now on the left side of your screen. So guys, let's go. Sky Temple, map number 2 between Storm Esports and PsiStorm Gaming. Game number 2. Very, very telegraphed what PsiStorm Gaming is trying to do here. But that doesn't mean that they can't pull it off. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder, granted. BBJ on level 1 into the reinforced Carapace here. Okay, so that already a slight adjustment on the normal build. Valera, obviously, someone that we have to watch out for. The crippling poison on level 1. Rega going straight into the electric charge. And for Morales, we get the Caduceus feedback. But yeah, this is all going to hinge on level 10 and how the timing works out for them. Now, if you're playing this particular style, one of the things that we definitely have to keep in mind here too is that the early game matters. If you are able to stay on par with your opponent in levels, then you can definitely execute this. It's all about the structural damage here. They're already sneaking down to the bottom of the map, or at least they're trying to, but they're running into Muradin and Valera. And I want to highlight again that Abathur is being played here by Storm Esports. That makes the defense a bit harder. There is one advantage though, playing Abathur against the setup, and that is kicking in on level 7 when you have Mule. Now, whenever there is an approach being made by PsiStorm Gaming, you would expect that they can take a keep down. That's the minimum that you have to get out of one of these attacks. You need to take the keep down. So I don't think that Abathur is going to get a lot of value out of his Mule in this case. But once that we're talking about the core, that's a different story. Because it's going to be much, much harder for PsiStorm Gaming to take the core down in one swoop. But normally what you can do, you attack the core once that it's open with the backdoor strategy. You take it down as much as you can, you get wiped, and then when you make your second approach, you finish it. Now, as this is possibly delayed, Abathur and his Mule can play a big role here. Now, in the early game, we're going to keep our eye on Valera and Abathur, because that tag team is going to look for kills. They're going to try to keep the red team as low as possible and do what they can here. So, it will be pretty interesting. And once level 10 kicks in, CPX and his Medivh is obviously absolutely key. His ley line needs to be on point. And PsiStorm Gaming, they're in this weird in this weird situation when on the one hand they all want to cluster up because they need to get the sanctification in. On the other hand, if they cluster up, then it's easy for CPX to hit the ley line. So yeah, those two usually cancel each other out. So there's a couple of interesting dynamics that we already have to observe here. But yeah, they take the camp just as the portal comes in. Blue team is obviously playing a bit aggressive at this point. The objective has so far not been announced. It's gonna happen in 20 seconds. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. This should be at least interesting. So I haven't seen for a long time a properly executed backdoor strategy that really worked. Muradin with the Stormbolt set up on level 1, going for the same level 4 here once again. We got the Needle Spine for Abathur. Relentless Strikes are ready as well. And oh boy, a couple of like hiccups here. Come on, Battle.net servers, you can do it. Yeah, but that wall is falling, and it's falling quickly, and that's something that they can't really afford here. They're losing way too much. I mean, Greymane is fantastic here, but they're losing Rega. Rega is down, and that, ladies, is a big problem right now. Huge problem for them. And of course, by now the keep or the fort is about to be gone. And that's a fantastic start for PsiStorm Gaming, because they need to take this one down so that they can get value out of attacking the keep up at the top. Now, they are still trying to escape, but they're all going to get wiped. So that's already a bit of a blow to the red team. They got away with the kill or the destruction of the fort. So that's already a big plus for them. But it's still 4 kills to 0 and only half a level lead right now for PsiStorm Gaming. Taking the fort down was important. The bigger problem is that both of the temples are up right now, and with Storm Esports having a dominant position, they should be able to get a lot of these shots fired. Now, Medivh also is sitting at 26 stacks at this point. Looking good for him. But keep in mind that PsiStorm Gaming is not going to be too unhappy about losing a few heroes in that last encounter. Now, it's not ideal, don't get me wrong. You want to save those. You want to get away. But they took the fort, and they did structural damage, which is what matters nearly the most here. Now, they need to save Crispy, and yep, that didn't work. So Rega gets taken down. That's the beauty of having Valera with Abathur. It is a lot of bursty damage that you get out if the target is not really watching what's going on here. The stacks on the level 1 for Muradin, 48 for him at this point. So Muradin can try to get his damage up as well. It's an entire level lead for Storm Esports. And PsiStorm Gaming, they are losing a bit of ground here. They lost the entire temple at the top, and Muradin has now moved successfully into the middle and is starting the channel. But the 5-man is moving in. Abathur does not have his ult yet. There's no copy available. Medivh with the top damage in the game, looking at 8,600, and the red team is letting that pass for now. Whereas Rega is getting attacked again. The poor doggy is just getting totally abused here. Yeah, and ooh, they save him. They save him, and Rutsu for a second in a bit of trouble, but Medivh is still around and helps Valera out. No real problem at the end of the day. A couple of stacks have been taken by Vieira, but not like this. No. I mean, he would have died anyway since Valera was already moving in, so that's 6 kills to 0, and things are obviously not going well for PsiStorm Gaming. At least out of the first attack at the top, they got the fort, so they got something out of their for their efforts, but at this point they're falling heavily behind. And I am dreading the moment that Storm Esports hits level 10, because then they can play around those heroics even more and get further ahead in the game. And they are stealing the camps away too. Yeah, this isn't working. PsiStorm Gaming, they're desperately trying to go to level 10, but they're 2 levels behind right now, and this is just a problem. Muradin already with the Haymaker. Big leap. Haymaker is in. Lauber is a bit low, but the Wolf is dead. Greymane is down. Big bad Wolf, my ass. Abathur, on the other hand, is also dying. So that is the work of Gul'dan. But down here, it's a triple kill as the entire team came in. And he can't get the explosion through against any of them. That would have, of course, been pretty amazing if he would have gotten a kill with the trade at least. We were looking at 9 kills to 1, and Valera is still on the prowl, looking for targets here. So, yeah. And she finds one. Rega, I mean, the dog at this point is really just thinking, leave me the fuck alone for once, please. And it could be a kill. Nah, Rutsu gets away. Alright, but again, as it stands, the problem really is the execution. PsiStorm Gaming is having big problems getting this all together. Now, once they have level 10, you can expect them to try and make a play for keep, and then we'll see if they are able to snipe that. But things are obviously not really looking too good for them. The temple is taken very late, by the way. So Storm Esports, they're now taking the shots in the middle, as you can see. Lauber is on the point, and that puts them into a pretty good position. They are about to annihilate the entire outer ring of defense. But here come the level 10 abilities. Medivac is in, Sanctification, Rain, and Bloodlust. Again, it is clear what they're trying to do here. Stormbolt is missing. Oh, the ley line is missing as well. That's a problem. And where's the Medivac? There's the Medivac. And that is... Yep, a keep. No! Oh my god! No, the Medivac died to the damage over time. They need to burst through. What are you doing? Go through the wall! Sanctification is in. There's the Haymaker. And oh boy, this is going nowhere. No, not like this. They attacked the tower instead of going through the wall. If you want to continue with that play, you have to go through the wall and you can't waste your time with the tower. But obviously, Storm Esports attacking the Medivac the way they did, that was really key. If that Medivac would not have fallen, they could have taken the keep down. Yeah, that Medivac not making it to the keep was the biggest problem here. So now it's an entire talent lead, 14 kills to 1. They got absolutely murdered there. And yeah, that was kind of crazy. If they would have just showed a little bit more patience before they dropped the Medivac, I think they could have really made it to the keep and taken it down. CPX missing the ley line was an absolutely blunder, and it was not exploited because, yeah, PsiStorm Gaming was just a bit too trigger happy. They felt pressure, and they thought they needed to drop that Medivac immediately, and then it didn't work out. Cortez needs to be really careful because they're going for the Medivac. I don't know why. They don't have any other ult, and it gets destroyed again. Guys, this is too obvious. 5-man leap! Oh my god.
Hail to the king, baby.
5-man leap, and now they're getting murdered again. Guys, wow, Captain Obvious just called. He wants his strategy back. I mean, please, at least try to sneak it a little bit. Try to play around vision just a bit, or make sure that they can't burst that Medivac down too quickly. Now, the Medivac is back in 18 seconds, and honestly, I like that timing much more because now they have their ults at least. Now, at least they have their heroic abilities. And now they're sneaking to the top. They're taking this one down. Already sitting in. 5 more seconds. Here we go. Here we go. They're clustering up. And it is party time. Taxi! Whoop whoop! Here we go. Let's get ready. Get the party started and the ley line. Yep, and there it is. Bam! But, well, they got the Sank in. The Sank is a little bit too soon for my taste, but they should still be able to get that key. Maybe not. The explosion! Tyrael! No! Oh. Yeah, that didn't do anything. So, the Sanctification was a little bit too early. And of course, Medivh was just waiting for it. That's why they picked Medivh. They wanted to have the ley line. They're playing really well around it. Again, the strategy was telegraphed. It's an old cheese. But when executed properly, it can be difficult to stop even when you know it's coming. But Storm Esports, they have a lot of experienced players in their roster. And they didn't really have any big problems. Now, some of this is also PsiStorm Gaming not executing this properly. Here comes another one. Here we go again. And they're going to get the keep at least. The keep is going to fall. The question is just what else can they do? Because I don't think that coil is going to go anywhere here. Yeah, there's the Stormbolt. There's the first kill. They're 4 levels behind by now. It's 20 kills to 1. The ley line, they're all going to die here. This is going to be a team wipe. There's the leap, and here we have them. Dying one after another. The shield is scratched by a little bit. The Chaos Pigeon is looking for more chaos. And, well, this is a 5-man wipe as Abathar has the chance to slap the core. Slap it, baby. Slap it. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. Go in. Go ham, baby. Go for it. Come on, BBJ. You know you want to slap it. Bring me the slap. Bring me the big slap. That is just a weak move. That is just a weak move by BBJ. He has a big opportunity here to go for the big slaps, and he doesn't take it. Too afraid of dying. Yeah. No. Sorry, but like I could have respected it, you know, if you went in for the slap and then got killed. That would have been absolutely okay. But not even trying, not even using an opportunity like this, I don't really like it. Now, I gotta say that I have big plans for Abathar. I think Blizzard should really change the hero just a little bit. One of the things that they could do, for example, is introduce a new talent, and it's called Bitch Slap. And what it does is, if you slap someone from behind, you insta-kill them. So Abathar could sneak into some bushes, you know, and dive behind someone, slap them hard and kill them. But yeah, that's a dream that's not going to come true anytime soon. 2-0 victory for Storm Esports against PsiStorm Gaming.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.